Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Wednesday, June 11th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. We have a lot of social media news to talk about today. We'll start with the Meta team, who have announced a new test of direct messages on Threads. That would be a separate DM inbox than the one you have on Instagram. This one would solely be for Threads. Also, the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, announces a new AI video editing feature that is now available in the Edits app. And honestly, I think it's pretty cool. We'll talk about that as well. Additionally, the YouTube Creator Insider team will give some updates on how to promote posts from mobile and talk about posts on YouTube. Posts is not something I was familiar with, so we'll get into that as well. All of that, plus the Wednesday Waffle on today's episode, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's start with the Threads news. The CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, posted on Threads, quote, "We're starting to test DMs on Threads. If you get access to this, slide through," end quote. And then he put a GIF of a man sliding into the ocean. The head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, posted something similar saying, quote, "We're starting to test DMs on Threads, which has been a top request since we launched. Our mission is to foster an open exchange of perspectives, and we know how important messaging is to supporting that cause," end quote. I just want to pause and say that I don't think we necessarily needed a separate inbox just for Threads. The DM inbox on Instagram works just fine. However, I do understand that some people have stepped away entirely from the Twitter or X platform and want to 100% replace that experience with Threads, and they don't necessarily want to be on Instagram. So in that particular situation, having a separate DM inbox just for Threads does make sense to me. Do you want a separate DM box just for Threads? I've created a poll attached to this episode. Please vote. I would love to share what you think on the show next time. Moving on, the head of Instagram announced today Restyle, which is a new AI tool built into Edits and soon part of Instagram that will allow you to style your videos in all sorts of ways. Basically, it is allowing you to change your clothes and the background of the video so you can play with a lot of different scenarios that you might not be in. I think this is really interesting. Here's the head of Instagram explaining more.
This week, we're launching Restyle, which is an AI tool to edit videos like this one, and it's going to be in Edits, in the Meta AI app, and in Instagram over time. It allows you to do all sorts of interesting things. But we're going to start with a set of presets before opening it up for open prompting later this year, where you can really let your imagination run wild. But to start, there'll be some simple things you can do. You can change your context, so you could just be in a beach or be in the snow. You can actually restyle an entire person or character. So you could be made up out of marble or porcelain, or you could be a 3D character from a video game. And you can also add some color. So I really like pink, so you could just go pink or use other lighting effects that we have. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know what presets you would like to see come over time. And I cannot wait to see what you all do with this creative tool. See you all soon. Peace.
If you haven't seen the video that goes along with that audio, definitely watch it, because as he goes through all the different things you'll be able to do with Restyle, he is actually changing. So he changes into a 3D character. He changes his background to be a snowy environment, all sorts of different things. Definitely worth watching. I will link to that video in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have some updates from the YouTube team about how to promote posts within the mobile app. And we'll talk about posts themselves, what they are, and how YouTube is going to be featuring them. Stick around. Welcome back. Let's get into some updates from the YouTube team. I'm actually going to stop the video from the Creator Insider team when it gets to the part about posts, because I'm going to explain what posts are before I play the update. Here's the clip from the YouTube Creator team talking about what's new this week.
What's up, Insiders? I'm Lauren, a program manager working on our product team here at YouTube and the producer of Creator Insider. So let's get into it. First up, we're making it easier to get started with YouTube Promote, which is now available from the YouTube main app on Android. As a reminder, creators can use YouTube Promote ad campaigns to promote their shorts and VODs or grow their business directly from YouTube or YouTube Studio without needing to go to Google Ads. You can use Promote with the goal of getting more subscribers, growing your video views, or driving visits to your website. To use Promote on the YouTube main app on Android, start watching one of your videos and look for the Promote button under the player. This allows you to promote the video without leaving the watch page. For creators who have already used Promote, we're introducing a new promotions feed to check the status of your campaigns and easily review performance. To visit your promotions feed, go to the U tab on mobile and click the promotions icon. We hope these updates help make the Promote tool more accessible, and we'll leave more information in the description.
Okay, I'm pausing the video for a second because the next part has to do with posts, and I was really unclear what a YouTube post is. To me, a YouTube post means you just made a video and you uploaded it to YouTube. It could be a long form video, it could be 10 minutes or an hour. That would be a post. That's how I thought of it. Turns out that is completely wrong. Here is a video from the YouTube team explaining what a post is.
Posts give creators an easy, lightweight way to engage with their audience through polls, quizzes, text, and more. They show on your channel's post tab, the YouTube homepage, and the subscriptions feed, and can help you deepen your connection with your existing audience and communities outside of your usual uploads.
So basically, posts on YouTube are like status updates, similar to what Threads or X has, except it's tied to your YouTube channel, and it can include text, images, GIFs, polls, video links, and more. Plus, there are no minimum subscriber requirements in order to make posts on YouTube. Okay, now that you have that context, let's go back to the YouTube Creator Insider Team update.
Moving on. If you're a creator who creates shorts and posts, now your viewers may be able to see both pieces of content from the shorts feed. Viewers will be able to interact with suggested posts without leaving the feed. The goal is to foster a closer connection between shorts creators and their viewers, as well as catch viewers up on posts they may have missed. Let us know if you have any questions. And that's it for this week. From the creators of YouTube to YouTube creators, we'll see you next week.
Okay, that is going to do it for today's updates. As always, thank you for listening. If you would like to hear the Wednesday Waffle, which is where I talk about a topic that may or may not be related to social media, stick around after the movie.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks at Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.
Oh, hey, thanks for sticking around. I realized that a lot of times when I'm on other people's podcasts, I talk about this show and its origin, the thought process that went into making the show, but that's not something I actually talk about on the show. So I thought I'd do that for once. Here's how the show started. Originally, one of my friends, her name is Jen Lehner. Perhaps you listen to Jen's show or you're familiar with Jen's content. Jen had launched something on Amazon called a flash briefing, which was using Echo devices. And Jen told me, Dan, you have to make a flash briefing. And I said, okay, well, you're already doing one about social media news. What should I do one about? And she said, you could do one about Instagram. And I thought, okay, I could do that. She said, you have to make daily updates and people will listen. And I said, okay, well, that seems interesting. I could do short daily updates. So I wanted to call it the Instagram stories. That was my idea. And I thought this way, when people search for information about Instagram, they'll find this podcast and they'll be able to listen. So I filled out all the information with Amazon and I submitted it. And Amazon came back and said, no, the word Instagram is trademarked. You can't use it. And I thought, well, that's a little unfair. I mean, I understand, obviously, the word is in fact trademarked, but how will people know what this show's about if it doesn't include the word Instagram in the title? So I was really stumped. I brainstormed a little bit with friends. Should I come up with a different name? And then my dad said, why don't you just reach out to Instagram? And I was like, that's ridiculous. Instagram doesn't respond to anybody for help or support. Why would they listen to me requesting to use their trademarked name in a show? But then I was doing some investigative Googling and I found a website where brands could submit ads to Instagram. So say you were going to have a commercial on TV or you wanted to have a magazine ad and the Instagram logo would be in it. Instagram has to approve that. So you could upload the copy or ad or video through this website and the Instagram team would approve it. So I made a request to the website and I explained what I wanted to do and they wrote back and they said no. They said, no way, not possible. We don't do that. So I wrote back to them and I said, okay, I understand that you don't approve it, but if you did approve it, what would be required in order for you to do that? And they wrote me back and they said, give us more information. So I explained in more detail what I was looking to do. And they took a while to come back to me. And then they said, okay, our legal department has approved you to use the Instagram branding, logo, and trademark if you include this verbiage, which basically says that I do not speak in behalf of Instagram. I then turned that into a rap song, but that's a story for another time. My idea with this show overall is so that you don't hear my voice all the time, because who wants to hear me all the time? But rather, if I include voices from the people who actually work at the platforms, that gives me credibility and shows that I'm not just giving you my opinion. I'm actually sharing news from people who actually work on these platforms. Now, my hope was that the people who work at these platforms would find this show and say, hey, we should totally hire Daniel. This guy is really on top of things and he knows his way around a product. But sadly, that has not happened. At some point, maybe it will, and that would be great. But if not, I like making this content. I really enjoy sharing social media status updates and news because it is impossible to stay on top of all of these platforms. So hopefully this podcast makes it a little bit easier for you. This was a little bit long for Wednesday Waffle. Maybe next time I'll tell a shorter story.